Welcome everyone. Saturday afternoon, 12:15, November 15th. And yes, we have another Saturday afternoon live stream and a nice gathering so far. We have 10 folks here. We got 6 likes, so appreciate that. We are running a poll currently. And yes, please say hello and let me know where you're from in the comments, in the chat. So the current poll is whether or not you'd like to see a holiday gadget stream since 'tis the season coming up. I spoke briefly with Jeremy during the week to see if he was interested in possibly rehashing or reviving the holiday stream that we've done in the past. I think one year I hosted it. I think one year he hosted it. So we're putting the feelers out today in the stream to see if there's any interest in that. So if you would weigh in on that, that would be greatly appreciated. And I do have another poll that I do want to run throughout later on in the stream. I'll close this one at some point. We'll let this one run for a while, and then I'll post another poll later on in the stream regarding VLAN 1 management. Because I had an interesting couple of comments on the last video that was released. So I'd be curious to get all your guys' and gals' take on that topic. So remind me, because if I get onto something and you see that the stream's coming to an end, or someone midway through the stream, be kind enough to remind me in the chat to close the one poll, post the other poll. That would be great. Appreciate it. All right. I did not forget today to launch the timer. Last week I did forget during the opening pre-roll. This week I did launch it, so didn't make that mistake. We have audio, we have video. I have my iced coffee. And here we are. Okay, let's see who is all here in the chat. Jeremy, welcome. Jeremy was actually first today, and when he posted that about 10:30 this morning, I said, well, it's probably because Grish maybe was still asleep. Who knows? It was only 7:30 for Grish. So, and speaking of Grish, here he is. Good morning, Grish. Welcome. Joe from Tech for Fun says, hey, doing the leaf thing, won't be able to make it. Have a good weekend. You as well, Joe. And thank you for popping in and saying hello. God, that reminds me, the leaves. I haven't done leaves in years. When I lived in New Jersey, we lived up in the country. I had a rider mower. I had a 5x8-foot landscape trailer with sides that I built and a big tailgate. And I used to do leaves, I remember, from end of September right through before Christmas. And I would load that trailer up, I can't tell you, countless times. Fortunately, we had a city dumping spot where we could bring the leaves and they would compost them down. But I can't tell you how many times. I mean, it was just months of picking up leaves and cleaning the yard and obviously covering the trailer with a big blue tarp and tie downs and stuff like that. So thanks, Joe. That comment brought back lots of memories that I kind of want to forget. Terrell, welcome. Mr. Tim Tech, welcome. And thank you, Tim. Yep, press the like button. Appreciate it. It does help out the channel for sure. Yep, hopefully, Jeremy. Got a couple of things for today. Really kind of just want to keep it loose and whatever. Speaking of Jeremy, and last week's stream, I mentioned that I was having some trouble with Zorin OS on the HP laptop. I decided to give it another go this week. I found another older HP laptop that I could play around with, and happy to say I did get Zorin OS installed successfully on this one. Not that it didn't install successfully on the other one. The installation process went well. It just was a bit quirky, as I showed you guys in some of the clips and pictures. I will say it's been working like a charm on this HP laptop. And funny thing is, this laptop, as far as specs is less spec than the original laptop that I tried it on, but it's been running flawlessly. So yay. I like it. I really do like it a lot. I originally thought Pop! OS was my favorite because that resembled to me Mac OS quite a bit. Obviously, which those of you know, Mac OS is where I am comfortable. But now I'm thinking Zorin OS is giving Pop! OS a good run for its money. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, I got a couple different things running on it. I got my password manager installed on it. I got Notes Nook installed on it. So, yeah, it's really cool. It's a leisure laptop. It's not doing anything mission critical for me, but I'm having fun playing with it. So we did win there. So thank you again, Jeremy, for turning me on to that. Let's see, what else? Speaking of being turned on to something new, a buddy of mine this week did a video, Frank over at WonderTech. Cool guy, very, very nice guy, very knowledgeable. I suggest you check out his channel, WonderTech Tutorials. And he did, the video was called 5 Underrated Docker Containers That Nobody, I guess the gist of it was that they're really good utilities and containers, but nobody really pays them the due that they're the attention that they're due. So one of the things one of the containers that he showed, let me bring it up on the screen because I got it running in Container Manager on one of my Synology devices, let me bring this up, is a container called Sterling PDF. And this is locally hosted open source container that is a full-fledged PDF editor. I mean, you could do everything and anything to PDF documents with this. I mean, you could see some of the options here in the organize column: adjust page size, crop the PDF, extract pages, merge pages, rotate, remove. I mean, incredible. Split pages. Then there's the convert column. You can convert images to PDF, emails to PDF, HTML. You can convert from PDF, so PDF to another format. And I tried a couple of these. I did the basic ones that you would do when editing a PDF. I extracted pages, I removed pages successfully. I was able to create, obviously, easy an image to PDF. I was able to create a PDF to HTML and then load it in a browser, so that worked nicely. I was able to add the password to the PDF. One thing I couldn't, and I didn't play with them all. This is something I just wanted to show you. One of the things I could not get to work was the sign PDF. It actually either lets you sign with your finger or a stylus pen if you have a tablet running on a tablet, but because it's browser based, so once you launch the container and just point to the address and you're good to go. It lets you sign. It does let you even import, an image of a graphic, but I just couldn't get it. It said it was applying it, but then when it saved the document out and I opened it, it wasn't applying it. I didn't see it. So that piece wasn't working. And I don't know, it could very well be me that I was doing something wrong, but a lot of the other things worked very, very well. So this is Sterling, Stirling PDF, runs in a Docker container. I had a little bit of a problem, to be honest with you, getting it to run with Docker Compose, but I was able to get it up and running. So instead of going the basic route of using Container Manager's UI and just downloading the image through the Synology Container Manager and then launching it that way. I actually tried doing it with the Docker Compose with the file, YAML file. I had a little problem getting it to run. It kept saying to me that there was a conflict with the port, but I knew the port. I tried all different ports. In fact, the port that it's running on now was the port that I was trying to get it to run on with when I was doing Docker Compose. So I abandoned that and I tried the Docker run commands, and it went with Docker run, no problem. With the Docker Compose file, it actually went through the whole process and successfully extracted everything and installed everything and gave me the clear, the thumbs up at the end. But then when I went to launch the browser, it just page couldn't load. So anyway, so that's that. So I wanted to share that with some of you. Some of you may already know, heard of it, but for me, I was happy to pick up another tip from another great YouTuber. So there we go. All right, let's look at the comments and see if we have any more. Brent, welcome. Go Grandstream. Welcome, Brent. Willie Howe, unless your HOA makes you, you should leave the leaf matter on your lawn. Protects the environment. And by the way, welcome, Willie. If you have to go down a learning rabbit hole, start looking at keystone species. All right. Terrell says, I like Zorin OS. Yeah, me too. He says, I take you got the video issues on the laptop figured out then. No, it's a completely different laptop, Terrell. It's a different laptop. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I have no idea if it was just maybe the laptop was messed up just in general. Let's see. Jeremy says, I've got Zorin on the ThinkPad and Pop! OS on the other. I'm eagerly awaiting the stable release of Cosmic Desktop in December. Okay. Well, I will wait for your evaluation on that one, Jeremy. What's the advantage of Zorin over Mint? I'm not really quite sure, Willie. I don't use Mint, so that would be a question. Maybe Jeremy, if you want to weigh in, or DJ Ware. I saw that you popped into the chat. Maybe one of you guys could weigh in on that for Willie. Transparent answer. Got to be honest with you. Did you make sure you configured Sterling so it's not calling home? If you like Sterling, check out Bento PDF for better security. I ran the default Docker run script that was in GitHub, so I'm not sure. Again, that's not doing stuff like that's not my forte, so, but it's working for now. Let's see. Jeremy's responding to Willie. They're both Ubuntu based. Like anything else, comes down to which desktop environment and extensions are installed by default. I always seem to get bored with Mint, but do like, okay. Let's see. Back to Willie's comment real quick. Bento PDF. All right. We'll definitely check that out. Jeremy says Sterling is great. I've got it running at the library. Oh, cool. I get that. Mint has been working well in a production environment and managing the Windows world around me. Good morning, Keith, and welcome. DJ Ware, welcome. Like I said, I saw you earlier in the chat pop up, and you say you like Cache OS. Interesting. I have not heard of that. Might have to be something I look at this week and play with. Gris says, I have Sterling running too. The only issue I ran into that it refused to compress a PDF even further down. Couldn't have a single page under a meg. Wow. Like I said, I didn't try a lot of them, but I was hoping to get the one to sign to work, because I do sign PDFs frequently from time to time. And I usually just load them up into like HelloSign or something like that I was using. I still have an account. Gris says, I got Starlink yesterday, way better than LTE connection. Cool. Did you get the portable dish or the full size? Darius, hello from, I'm not even going to try that, Darius. I'm just going to say hello from Poland. Welcome. Let's see. Oh, by the way, real quick, Russell did respond to the email I sent him regarding winning the 25,000 subscriber giveaway, and the package did go out yesterday, a matter of fact. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have to repick another winner this week, but he did weigh in midweek, so we're good with that. Terrell installing Sterling PDF now on Proxmox. Cool. CashieOS is an interesting Arch-based distribution. Hi from Surrey. Hello, Stephen. Welcome. So let's see. We got 9 people here and 9 likes. Thanks. Your tutorials. Thank you. Your tutorials. I run Synology and many other projects. Good job. Thank you, Darius. I appreciate it. TVJ. Hello. Welcome. All right. So that's that as far as the update with Zorin and Sterling. Let's see. For those of you, I just want to touch base briefly on something I did with ChatGPT this week. I don't know if the creators out there use ChatGPT for any of the creation process, but with the new studio set here, I took a picture of the set, and let me get that off the screen. I took a picture of the set and then submitted it without me in the seat and then with me in the seat to ChatGPT. And I asked, let me just bring that up real quick. Hold on. I just want to show you the detail in the analysis. It was incredible. So here, let's switch over to this. All right, so I started with this here. Let me just see if I can pop that larger. All right. So you are a YouTube studio expert. This is what I'm writing now to ChatGPT, who understands visual storytelling, lighting, framing, set aesthetics, and viewer perception. I'm uploading a photo of my current YouTube setup from the front and rear, which I did not do the rear of the space. I decided not to after I submitted this. Please analyze the image and give me detailed feedback on any changes, if any changes are needed. Assume this is for a solo creator who talks to the camera. And then he responded by saying, great, once they see the photo, they'll give me framing and composition advice, lighting, set design, aesthetics, audio, acoustics, practical adjustments, viewer perception, whatever. So that's the picture right here that I uploaded, the initial picture. Excellent. I can clearly see your setup. Here's a detailed professional analysis, and it goes on. Camera height, they give you the camera heights, what they think of it, if it needs any suggestions, rule of thirds, depth. The shot has excellent depth separation, background is softly lit, yada, yada, yada. Balance, the frame feels well balanced. The background feels professional yet warm. Tech and comfort is a great combo. And then they offer like a minor tweak. And then it says when you sit, make sure your head doesn't block the QuickTech sign completely. So then at that point, I thought, well, maybe I should upload one with me in it. And it goes on to give, for lighting, a series of its comments on what it thinks. Now, missing element, doesn't see any key and fill lights, but he assumes they're out of frame. Yes, that is correct. And then it asks for a rim, that I should put a rim light or a hair light. Set aesthetics, the Neo sign is excellent branding, yada, yada, yada. So just very, very detailed. It goes into detail on the acoustics, the technical setup. And then it gave me a summary of recommendations here. And then what I did was I decided to put same image with me in the chair, and then, it went in, and then it really zeroed in on everything. And I was happily surprised that it gave me a really good review. So anyway, so for you creators out there that are posting videos and looking for ideas and input, and some inspiration on how to improve your set or whatever, helping with thumbnails, scripts, and stuff, ChatGPT has been doing. It was very helpful, at least with this setup. I kind of arrived on this setup because when I had the studio set up the other way, initially I submitted a picture that way and asked for some tips and really focused in on wanting to improve the space completely and make it more warm and cozy. And it kind of led me in the direction that I'm in now. So yeah, so try it out if you haven't already. Let's take a look at what's going on with the poll. We have 18 people here, 13 likes. Is there any interest in the poll? The poll is there any interest in seeing a few of us creators together, join together to do a holiday stream? We got 17 votes, 17 people here, so that's good. Yes, 88%, and no, 12%. All right, so Jeremy will be talking, I guess, for sure this week. It looks like we do have interest on that. I am going to end this poll now because I do want to post the other poll. So let me do that, and this way I won't forget, and then we'll go back into the comments. All right, so all right, got lots of positive feedback on the video that I just released this week on the VLANs. I think I got like two negative VLAN, two negative comments, which I'm completely okay with because it's still, whether the comments are positive or negative, as long as it weighs in the favor of positive, that's a good thing. I wouldn't want it to be all negative, but it does help. It's engagement, and whether it's positive or negative, and it does help the channel either way. So but hey, like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I get that, just like I gave my opinion in the video. Let's see, must contain between 1 and 35 characters. Oh, that one's too long, really? Shit, crap, management device is separated. Okay. Let's see if I can get this one narrowed down a little bit so I could post the poll. Sorry then. All right, let's do this. There we go. I think I'm good there. Add an option, good. And then separated. Wait a minute. What is your separate? Oh, okay. And then last. So much for typing these out ahead of time and then copying and pasting to save time. All right. Let's see if that works. All right. It won't let me start the poll. Come on, really? Ah, that's why, right there. All right, can I start it now? That one's -1, really? All right, let's get that out, and I'll explain the poll then. All right, so here we go. Geez, sorry about that. All right, so basically what I want to know is, with your current setup, do you separate your router switches and access points on its own VLAN? Is that VLAN VLAN 1 or on a different VLAN? So do you put your management VLANs on a VLAN other than VLAN 1? And then finally, and then keeping home network in mind, I'm not talking business or enterprise here. And then do you just put your infrastructure and your trusted devices all on one same VLAN. That's basically it. So, all right. Phew, got through that. Speaking of polls, what I want to do next is go through, so I don't forget, the YouTube polls for the week. There was only a couple. While you guys are answering that. All right. 6 days ago, I think it's this one. Let's see. Let's go to SuperSource. All right. I'm not sure if we went over this one last week. What is your VPN of choice? But I'll start there. WireGuard, OpenVPN, IPsec. Don't use VPNs. And you see the scores there. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And 56% WireGuard, OpenVPN 23%, IPsec 8%, 13% I don't use VPNs. And then this one was specific to GrandStream users. What's your favorite management option? GDMS Cloud, GWN Manager, Device Built-in Controller, or GCC Convergence Management. 53% Cloud GDMS, 17% weighed in out of 30 votes on GWN Manager. Device uses the built-in device controller, 23%, and only 7% using the management built into the GCC. Interesting. All right. If money wasn't an issue, what's the first part of your network you would upgrade? 10 gig switch, Wi-Fi 7 access points, rack and structured cabling, and firewall security gateway. There are a couple of comments on here. This got 77 votes, 77 people weighed in on this one. And a couple of us, Alonzo and I, and a couple other people weighed in on the comments on here. Even before the all 77 votes were in, rack and structured cabling was leading the way. So we were kind of surprised that it was winning this particular poll, and in the end, it looks like it won. So 40%. And then let's see, what do we got here? If you were building your next network from scratch, which brand would you choose? And again, there's more brands out there than this, but I think, YouTube only limits you to 4 answers in their community posts. So I tried putting more, but I think it just maxed me at 4. So Ubiquiti, TP-Link, GrandStream, MikroTik, 78 votes on this one. So we're getting good involvement, good engagement with the posts, with the polls. So I'm happy about that. So thank you. 63 for Ubiquiti. I'm not surprised. TP-Link, Omada 13, GrandStream 15, and MikroTik 9%. There's the video, and then this one came out only 3 hours ago. What's the next piece of gear in your home lab setup to be upgraded? So it's similar to the other one, except it's not if money weren't an object. This is like your current setup. What are you hoping to achieve as far as an upgrade? Router, firewall, network switch, NAS, access points. Access points 50%. That's me too. But I am going to upgrade the infrastructure, the cabling. So, and then the NAS 25%, 13% for the network switch, and 13% for the router firewall. All right, cool. I am moving quickly today, only because we have to be somewhere today. So I feel rushed. I don't feel like my normal self, but that's okay. Let's see. TBJ says, Grish says, no, I got the standard kit and I have to pay 1K congestion activation fee. Ouch. Yeah, ouch. But worth it. I've been holding out for years for the congestion to go away, but it never happened. Money talks, right? Keith is saying hello to Jay. Jay's saying hello back. Stephen Goldstein is saying, have you tried Commodore OS 3? I have not, but I'm sure there's probably folks in this chat that have. So weigh in if you have. Folks talking to each other. Tim is saying, wow, must give it a go on the Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is suggesting, yeah, it's not the first time. Even when I had the studio the other way, and I had the 3-point lighting set up with the hair light, it didn't really think I had it. It didn't see it. I guess it wasn't prominent enough, and it was even suggesting it then. Okay. Forgot or don't use VLANs. TVJ, use VLAN 1 for management. Jason's Lab, good morning. Grish, I've recently been using MikroTik's steep learning curve, but man, it makes you know everything about networking. Yeah, that's what I've heard, and yeah, I'm glad you seem to be liking it. So cool. 7721 switch, and I'm liking it, Terrell. Okay. Chilling in sunny South Florida. Hello, Cecil. Welcome. All right. Let's see how the poll is doing. We got 16 people here, 15 likes. We have 7 votes on the poll. What is your current management setup? Management devices separated, but using VLAN 1. Management devices separated on a different VLAN, 29%. And management entrusted on the same VLAN, 43%. And you know what? That's not uncommon in home networks. So, you know, I'm not surprised at the numbers. And really, up until a little while ago, I was doing the same thing where I had my trusted devices and I had my router, switches and access points together. I only separated them out recently. So yeah. All right, cool. Let's see, what do we got? All right. Got that. Got that. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way because I got to get to, just not sure where I'm going to put it. Like that, maybe. Put it down like, uh-oh. There we go. That's because I closed the H2R graphics laptop because I need to room space here. So I got something this week from Grandstream. It came Wednesday, so I figured, well, I know what it is. Might as well just open it here and show you guys. This is the Grandstream GWN 7670 LR outdoor access point. Thank you, Dennis Pillow, for my handy dandy box opener. So let's see what we got. Cardboard. Typical quick installation guide, certification, regulatory information. All right. All right, we got, let's do this. I got an idea. Let's put this on the floor. And let's switch to this camera here. And let's get this out of the way. Okay. All right, so 2-part mounting bracket can go on a wall or combined with this on a pole. Somehow like that. Like I said, I haven't done anything with this yet. I'm opening it for the first time in front of you. Let's see. Let me do this. I know my top-down camera. Let's see if that's a better shot. Yeah, there we go. So the top-down camera, I didn't think it would be bright enough, but it's not bad. It's okay. So there is the GWN 7670LR, Wi-Fi 7. Got a little LED light on the top here. The Grandstream branding on the bottom. It's a little contoured on the top. It's heavy. It's definitely got some weight to it. On the back, let's see if I can take this rear cover off, and I might go back to the other camera for this shot there. So you got, let's see, a 2.5 gig PoE port here, and then a fiber port here for fiber module. And yeah, on the bottom of the little trap door, you got waterproof rubber, so it just pops in like so. Looks like we got like a heat sink design going on the top. So it's got built-in antennas which are directional, and then on the top it has screw terminals for two more antennas. So when you put these on, now you have omnidirectional antennas. Like that. So again, it's a pretty big, hefty unit. I mean, I have huge hands, and you can see that the unit is pretty massive in size. On the side, it has a signal LED light meter, and I learned in Mr. Tim Tech's video this week. By the way, check out Tim's channel. He did a whole unboxing video on this, and I believe he did a setup video. I don't remember if he included that or if that was a part 2 or if that's coming still. But Tim mentioned that on this here, this is a point-to-point feature that this access point will support, but it's currently not functional. And me personally, I don't have any release date or inside knowledge as to when they're going to make that available, but I understand, according to Tim, that that's what that signal meter is for. So pretty cool. There it is in its entirety. And again, I'm a pretty big guy, so when you look at this thing against my chest, you could see how massive it really is. So that's the GWN 7670 LR. And let's do this. Let's go over to Grandstream's website, and let's take a look. Outdoor access points. This one right here. There we go. 3.6 gigabits per second aggregate wireless throughput, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, 2.5 gig. Oh, the SFP port is 2.5 gig. Integrated Wi-Fi 7, dual band 2x2x2 MIMO with DLUL-OFDMA technology, up to 350 meter coverage range, supports 256 concurrent Wi-Fi clients or devices, advanced QoS, anti-hacking secure boot, critical data control lockdown via digital signatures, self-power adaptation upon auto detection of PoE+, and it's got an embedded controller like most of the other GWN access points. It can manage 50 other access points. So video be coming soon on this. Starting to get a little bit backed up with stuff. I got this. Then I also have something coming on Tuesday. Let me go back to the comments real quick. Just get this there like that, plugged in and up. All right, let's see. Back to the comments. Where did we leave off? Too bad no one has 2.5 gig SFP ports to mate with this AP. Wouldn't a 10 gig FFT module auto negotiate the 2.5 gig? Not so sure about that. Yeah, Jason says nope. Tim says, I did contact Grandstream, but the point-to-point option being disabled. They said it will be enabled with a firmware update when the GWN 7302P to multi-point kit is released later this year, early next year. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. Yeah, so in addition to this supporting point-to-point, they're actually coming out with a dedicated P2P system, P2P multi-point as well. So very, very cool. Jason says, SFP is 1 in 10. I tried this battle, wasted a few dollars on modules and no go. DJ Ware says, at Practical IT, sorry for the long pause. Yes, CachyOS is interesting and fast. Okay. All right. Let me put this away. Sorry for feeling rushed, guys. Let's see. 45 minutes. I have something else down here. All right. Couldn't fit the other one. I don't know how I'm going to fit this. So I have Synology sent me the 1525 plus DS 1525 plus. Again, haven't opened it. They did send me 4 or 5. Let me see. They did send along also 5 hard drives. I'm not sure what they sent. 4 terabyte plus series SATA hard drive. So, but when I do my videos on this, I will use their hard drives, obviously. But what I want to do is I also have 2 Seagate 4 terabyte NAS drives that I want to load this up with and see if I can get the volume created or if they reject the drives. I'm assuming this came with DSM 7.3. So I'm curious to try to set it up with those two drives, as well as maybe even doing a mix, like maybe 3 of the Synology drives and 2 of the third-party drives. But for purposes of my obligation to Synology, my initial video is going to be probably setting it up with the 5 Synology drives. Maybe in a live stream, we'll either next week or another week, we'll try setting it up with a volume of mixed drives. But I at least want to get it out of the box and show it to you. It's big. I'm going to shut the comments down again and make room on the desk. All right. Power cord. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did. Put it on the floor and lift it. Okay. Sizable power brick. Let's see if I can read the specs. Even with my reading glasses, it's difficult to see. But I'll have this information for you in the video. I can't really see it right now, but pretty sizable. Screws for the hard drives. Not 1, but 2. Category cables. Locking keys to lock the drives down. Your getting started guide here with the QR code on the front. So that's what's in this box. I'm assuming these are Cat 6, but who knows? They could still be sending Cat 5e. Let's see if it says it. Cat 5e. Okay, that's what's in the little box. And I'm going to trip as I walk out of here later. Okay, here it is. It's tiny. I was thinking about the 1621 Plus, how big it is in comparison. Yes, that's a 6-port, has 6 drive bays, and this has 4. But let's see, let's do this. Let's zoom out of this camera a little bit. Like that. All right, so there it is. You got the 5 drive bays in the front. You got your status lights here. I'm doing this backwards, going down the sides. A USB port, power button, Synology branding on one side, double fans on the back. Let's see. This right here, over here, is optional for an optional 10 gig port, I believe. And then let me see what we got here. Power. I know there's a USB port on the back. Is it one of these two? Sorry, I can't see in reverse too well. Yeah, there's 2 USB-C ports for expansion slots. And I like the fact that they changed the expansion slots to using USB-C 3. And then on the back over here are the 2 ports. And I believe these are 2 2.5 gig ports, but I'm going to bring it up online real quick and just double check that. Let's see. DS series. $925. 15, 20, yeah, two 2.5 gig ports, and that is the optional 10 gig port. And it also has two built-in M.2 NVMe slots that can be used for caching or for storage as well. And it scales up to 15 drives. So anyway, that will have some videos coming on this as well. Wish I could do more today with it, but like I said, once I get the initial video or videos done, then maybe we'll play around with it in a live stream. All right, let's go back to the comments. Let's see where we are. Terrell's saying that FS has 2.5 gig modules, pretty well priced, and Jason says he tried those, they didn't work. They link at 1 gig, nothing more. And you can't put a 10 gig into this port and work, it doesn't link at all. Terrell's answering Jason. Jason and Terrell are going back and forth. 2.5 isn't a standard, so it's hard to find stuff that works. You can get an SFP Ethernet module to work in switches, but they don't fit in these switches. I tried. Okay. All right. Interesting in seeing a review of the Grandstream NAS when they come out. Yep. I'm sure that when they come out, Terrell, you're going to see multiple. Oh my, I wasn't putting the comments on the screen. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm sure when they come out, you'll see multiple reviews, probably from myself, Willie, Jason, Tim. So Terrell, both myself and Tony will be doing point-to-point videos, I'm sure. Yep, I plan on doing it, Tim, as I know you are. Haven't quite figured out how I'm actually going to do it, where it's, I just don't want to set them up here in the office and, point them at each other 10 feet apart. I want to try to actually figure out a real world use case scenario, but we'll see. The initial obviously unboxing and setup will be in the studio, but I really like to do a subsequent video where I could take them out and actually try to set them up in a real world use case. And Jason said he will be too. Yep. Terrell, Tim's answering Terrell that, yep, he'll be most likely be doing the NAS as well once we all get them. But I don't think they're coming out anytime soon. I think they're like mid to second half of 2026, if I remember the webinar we all attended. So, all right, let's get rid of that. Let's get some light off my face here. 13 people here, 17 likes. All right. So Tuesday, speaking of NAS boxes, Tuesday, TerraMaster is sending me. I got the shipping notification today. They're sending me. Let me get to their site. Yeah, they're sending me, let's see. Where's the Plus series? F8 SSD Plus. Let me search it. Okay. I don't know if they're sending this in white or black, but they're sending me, it's scheduled to arrive on Tuesday, the F4 425 Plus, 3 and 4 bay hybrid network storage, Don't know anything about TerraMaster. This is going to be my first hands-on with them. What I do know is they asked me if I would be willing to buy the hard drives and the M.2 drives, 4 and 3, and then have them reimburse me via PayPal. And initially I was a little hesitant. I actually reached out to Willie. I'm like, yo, dude, I know you work with these guys. This is what they want in order to send me a review unit. It seems kind of hokey and a little shady. He's like, yeah, no, that's the way they operate. So I was like, okay. So I did, and sent them the receipts and my PayPal information, and got a confirmation that they'll be doing the reimbursement. Small drives. I think they made me order 4 512 megabyte hard drives, and 2, I forget what's, or 3, I forget what size the M.2s were. So anyway, this is what's coming on Tuesday. Like I said, I know nothing about TerraMaster, so it's going to be a learning curve for me. I don't know if a video will be coming all that quickly until I kind of sit with it, play with it, test it, get a little bit comfortable with it. But yeah, so anyway, that's on the horizon. All right. Tim says, I agree. Sometimes we cannot do max distance for them, but we will try point to point somehow, even short distance. Yeah, I have a couple ideas. I'm just not sure exactly. Without my neighbors, like, thinking like, what is this crackpot doing? I figured I could set one up. My thought is, I have Ethernet ports. I ran ports down into my garage. I could run an Ethernet cable to the first one, set it up on a stand at the outside my driveway and my garage, and then maybe go down the block a half a mile or however far I can get with the other one, another stand, and my EcoFlow. I have the small EcoFlow power box, and in a PoE switch, and maybe just try it that way, so that this way I can power the unit, power the switch, and then I also have the switch there to plug in like a laptop or something to the switch to test the connection. I don't know. We'll see. That's just in my early thought processes. Jason says, you will like TerraMaster. I have one and very impressed. Their 9-bay is on my list to purchase soon. Cool. Cool. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea, Jason, what to expect. You know, the UI, I have no idea what that looks like. I don't hear a lot of people saying anything really about the UI, whether it's good, whether it's not good. So yeah, like I said, I'll take my time with it and figure it out as I go. All right, fast cabling. I did get shipping notification, and I showed this to you guys last week. They're sending me that pass-through PoE outdoor switch. It just takes forever to get here. It's somewhere in commute. I don't even know. And that's that. So, all right. It's 1:15. I wanted to share some Black Friday deals that were happening, but maybe I will save that kind of topic for next week as we get closer. I'm sure there'll be links coming out all week with that. What I do want to try is I usually close my streams with the, giving you an update on the deck. The deck is pretty much done. I didn't take pictures this time because I thought what I would try to do is use the technology that I have in place here in the house, in the studio, and go outside with the mobile cam and stream it via SRT back up to the studio. If all works as I have planned, we should be good to go. Otherwise, you're going to see a Be Right Back screen on the screen for quite a while. Now, why did that happen? Hold on one second. Let's stop you. Stop. All right, let's bring you in there. Let's start you up and see if we can get it reconnected. So, okay, we have a connection there, so that's good. What I'm going to do is I'll grab the iPad so this way I could switch inputs on what you're seeing. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take you guys outside with the mobile cam and give you a walkthrough around the finished deck. Won't take too long. To get down there, I'm going to put the Be Right Back screen message up, and then hopefully I could use the iPad to control the 2ME so that I could switch inputs. I just got to remember to turn the channel, audio channel on the ATEM and do what I got to do. So here we go. Bear with me. Worst case scenario is it's going to work. I have no idea once I'm down there doing this what you're seeing because I have no way of monitoring the stream. So if it works, yay. If it doesn't work, I apologize. You probably just see the Be Right Back screen on the screen the whole time until I get back. But let's give this a shot. So okay, hopefully you can hear me at this point. Now let's see if I can get the view to come up for you. Okay, hopefully now you're seeing and hearing. So I'm out on my back deck. There goes the golf cart, food truck or whatever, food golf cart. She sells hot dog sandwiches and drinks to the actual golfers. So here we are. I'm inside the deck. As you can see, the fan is up. I got that done last week. Again, hopefully you're hearing this. I am going to turn the fan on. I just got to go back in the house for a second and get the remote control. No. Back up. There are my puppies. There's the little 3-pounder over there. There's the old lady right there. Back up, guys. Okay. So, let's do this. Hold on one second. Okay. So the fan is going and the light is on, so that's all working. I can turn the light off, as you see there. So we got the fan going. So this is the finished deck. It came out really, really nice. We have the support bars that we worked on a couple of weeks ago. He finished off around the base with the base molding. Yeah, really excited about it. We're going to be putting a table and chairs in this area here, and then some, I guess, sitting chairs or lounge chairs over here. I'm not quite sure yet. Again, here's the electrical. We have a GFI circuit there, down to a combined switch and another outlet there. So the switch basically is sending power up to the fan, and then I'm controlling the fan. When the switch is on, I'm controlling the fan light and the fan itself with the actual remote control. So now I'm going to shut off the fan now. And then on that wall there is where eventually I'm going to put the outdoor TV shell case with the TV inside of it on a swing out arm, so that if we're sitting like somewhere around here, the TV will just swing out that way and face us. Haven't figured out where I'm going to come through yet with the cabling and where I'm going to mount the outdoor pass-through PoE switch, since they're sending it to me because the TV's going in this area. So I got to figure that all out once I get the switch in my hand. But anyway, let me give you a quick walk around from afar, and then we'll go head back upstairs. So there's been product, remember, generation one that we were going to build this one off of, and it came out pretty much almost exact. We got some gardening ice to finish it off, but we'll deal with that in the spring. And yeah, so pretty happy with it. The guy who did this, like I said, was 74 years old, so I give him lots of kudos. And yeah, so let me do this. Let me head back upstairs. Let me grab the iPad and switch the Be Right Back on, hopefully. And put this down for a second. Hopefully you're seeing the Be Right Back. Okay, I'm back here. Okay, let's see. Did that work? Hopefully. Were you able to see me? Were you able to hear me? I guess I'll check the comments real quick. And let me stop the stream to the, let me stop the SRT stream. Okay. All right, let's see. Hopefully that worked. Let's see. Jason saying, reach out. I can give you access to mine. Oh, I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you. Yes, Fast Cabling and I have been communicating, Jason, because I reached out to them. I wanted to buy. You weren't here last week. I think I explained to everybody I wanted to buy the pass-through PoE switch. And I had reached out to them questioning the surge protection for that switch and which surge protector they recommended. And we went back and forth. And I had mentioned that I learned about them through your channel and that I also have a channel, yada, yada, yada. And would you be interested in, you know, maybe taking me on as a partner as well? And we worked it out, and yeah, so it's coming. So I didn't ask for the PoE pass-through switch. My intention was to buy it, but that was the first thing they asked me, like, well, what is it that you want to review? And I said, well, I'm interested in your surveillance products, your PoE line, and your point-to-point. And with that, they turned around and said, well, maybe we'll just send you the pass-through PoE switch. And I was like, oh, that's a coincidence, unless they had been watching my recent streams or something, because I had been mentioning it. So anybody planning to buy any of the new Steam hardware that was announced this week? If nothing else, I'm going to get the new Steam controller. Cool. DJ Ware says, I used a TerraMaster a while ago. They are pretty nice. Tim says, can see, good. Were you guys able to hear? Send the sunshine to the UK. Been raining since Thursday night. Yeah, we are having, it's probably about 70 today. Sorry, guys. I know some of you are dealing with teens and low 20s and stuff like that. Nice decking. Thank you. Audio went choppy a couple of times, but overall it was good. Okay. That's interesting. So the audio went choppy. So the audio was from the mic that I was wearing to this little device, which was plugged directly into my phone. So the transmitter and the receiver were literally 12 to 18 inches apart. So if that's the case, that it went choppy a little bit, I'll watch the stream back later. Well, I can't later because we're going out, but I'll watch the stream back at some point. And if that's the case, gee, I wonder if it has to be the SRT signal going over SRT to upstairs. Now, I was on my Wi-Fi. I was outside. My Wi-Fi does extend to the outdoors, but I don't know like how strong of a signal. So maybe it wasn't strong enough. So, but anyway, it got the job done. Thank you for letting me know. Do I have a link for the gimbal? So this gimbal, Tim, is the DJI OM4. It's a few years old, and it's a solid gimbal. What I like about it is the mount is magnetic. So you can just clip it on the phone, and then your phone's secure. It's not going anywhere. They probably have several versions, subsequent versions beyond this, but I'm very happy with it for just having a basic gimbal to walk around with, and it also works as a desktop like tripod almost, in a sense. If you're doing something where you weren't moving around, it tilts up and down, it tilts the camera, turns the camera, it tilts the camera up and down this way. So the DJI OM4, I don't have a link for it. I could send you one, but I mean, you could look it up on Amazon over in the UK and see what the newer models are. So that's nice, Jeremy. 64 in Michigan for this time of year. That's awesome. Yeah. So anyway, let's see how the poll is doing. 11 votes. 45% say they keep their infrastructure devices and their like regular trusted everyday laptops and stuff on the same VLAN. 18% say the management devices are on a separated VLAN, other VLAN, not VLAN 1. And the 36% say the management devices are separated but using VLAN 1. And again, like I said in the video, that's what I'm doing. It's separated using VLAN 1 for the management VLAN. I just changed the IP scheme away from 192.168.1.1 or 0.1 or 80.1, which is Grandstream's default, and I just went with something totally different for my VLAN, my management VLAN. But I am using VLAN 1, just a different IP scheme. So anyway, thanks for all weighing in on that. Let's end that poll now. We have 17 people still here, 20 likes. I'm going to wrap this up because we do have to get rolling, and I feel like I was rushed, and I still went an hour and 15 minutes. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. Jeremy and I will get working on the holiday stream, and we'll publish information about it as soon as we lock it down and lock down some creators to join us. And yeah, so everyone, have a great week. Thanks for putting up with me today, and look for some videos coming in the near future. Take care.